Hello and welcome to PMC MainView for DB2, monitoring DB2 locking. Chad Reber here, PMC DB2 software consultant. For the next few minutes, I will be showing you just how to use for DB2 to find valuable information about the locking going on in your subsystem. MainView has a number of views that can help you locate the problem and step you through analysis to help devise a solution. When I look at a DB2 monitor, no matter who the vendor is, there are a number of functions that are heavily used and must be there for the monitor to provide benefit. First is active threads. What is running right now in the system and how is it performing? Second is thread history. At 10 a.m. this morning, what was running and was there a problem with the system or workload? The third is what I'm talking about today, DB2 locking. This quick course will show you the views that are available in MainView to show you what are the current DB2 locks held by threads and resources at a subsystem or across subsystems. This is very important in the data sharing environment where a process running on DB2A can be affected by what's running on DB2B. MainView will also show lock history. Were there issues earlier in the day or yesterday? By looking at timeouts and deadlocks that have occurred on the systems, we might be able to see if there are problems. Lastly, lock analysis. This can be proactive or reactive. Are we dealing with potential locking issues that are affecting response time or causing errors that are slowing down our end users? MainView can pull together the information, which it is capturing 24/7, and give you help in determining how to correct the problem. The first question is, how quickly can I find I have a locking problem? You see the thread active screen. On this view, there is a column, locks. If you suspect you have a thread that is delayed because of locking, such as nothing is happening in DB2, you are processing the same SQL for a long period of time, or no CPU is being consumed, you can put your cursor on the locks value for the thread and you will find out quickly if there's an issue. It brings me to the list lock view, and you can see one of my resources is in an in-wait situation. I was right. My thread is being delayed because it's waiting for a lock to continue. There is a yes under the in-wait column. You can then drill down into that resource and see who's holding you up. It is that quick to get information on a particular thread. What if you want to analyze more than one thread? MainView does provide a locking menu. You see the default EZDSSI menu here. To the left-hand side, there's an entry for locking menu. Hyperlinking on that item, you will be brought to the locking menu view. The MainView DB2 locking menu is broken down into a number of sections. Currently held locks, lock statistics, this is from a system level perspective, lockouts, one for a DB2 and one for a data sharing environment, lockout analysis, and lastly, contention analysis. If I look under current held locks, I have a number of choices. One is suspended threads. So this means active users who are waiting in DB2 because they are suspended because of locking. It is not necessarily a bad thing to have locking going on in your system. It actually makes sure two or more processes are not updating things at the same time, which can affect the quality of the data. In my system, currently there is one thread that is suspended. I can hyperlink on the user ID and get detailed information about the lock resources I am using. It shows here the CRIND DTS table space is in wait. Valuable information is provided, such as lock type, which is data page, how long this thread has been waiting for a lock, 46 seconds, which can be a long time if I'm waiting to make a trade on Wall Street or scanning a bag of frozen peas at the grocery store. I went a step further and looked at the particular resource, and it showed me the holder of that particular page, and you could see the lock duration as commit. So this holder has not committed its update or insert. and you can also see it held the lock for over 5 minutes. Scrolling to the right, I can see the holder is running plan DSN ESPCS, or Spoofy, and it's actually running on another member of the data sharing group, DJJ2, versus the suspended plan, which is running on DJJ1. You can see quickly I can find locking issues right from the MainView views. The MainView locking menu's currently held lock section also provides views to zero in on the situation you are facing. This view shows resources with writers. The view shows the CRINDDPS tablespace as the only resource or objects that have update threads. The column to look out for is the thread weight column. Sorting this view by that column will show you all the DB2 object resources in contention. This view is the lock held by thread view, showing total locks by thread. In red is the in wait column, which is an indication that this thread is waiting for a resource and could be in danger of failing with a lockout situation. Last view within the current held lock section is the lock held by resources. This view will show all the resources in a MainView context, its total locks, as well as the target subsystem, and again if any of these locks are waiting on other processes. Back to the DB2 locking menu. Reviewing locking history, we want to look at lockouts by DB2 or by data sharing group. The lockout events by time, or LK event view, will show all the lockouts and deadlocks that have occurred. It could be a case where developers have coded for this situation and the threads do not actually append when these problems happen. However, these occurrences do affect response time because SQL locking application code will be rerun because of the locking problem. I'm going to put my cursor on one of these timeout entries and hit enter. The individual timeout is displayed in the view. Here you can see the resource that caused the timeout, the blocker of the DB2 lock, and who is waiting on them. The view for an individual deadlock is a bit different. With a deadlock, two separate processes were waiting on resources. However, these two processes were holding the resources each needed. Therefore, DB2 determines which one must go away for processing to continue. In this deadlock situation, MainView shows both of those resources that were held. Just like DB2 locking is a good thing, deadlocks and timeouts are a good thing as far as maintaining data integrity. However, too much of a good thing tends to cause problems. MainView provides a number of views that will summarize these lockout events at different levels. Here the view shows a summary of timeout deadlocks by blocker and waiters. This information shows which plans are involved in deadlocks and timeouts and the percentage of those conflicts compared to the entire system. A large amount of conflicts might be avoided by code changes, changes to a locking level of a DB2 object, or increased performance of the threads themselves. As you can see on the DB2 locking menu, there are other analysis summaries in the middle of the screen. Resource contention summary, connection types summary, and then individual blocking and waiter summary. The last view I want to discuss is the Contention Analysis or MainView Lock Wizard dialog on the lower left-hand side. By selecting that, I am brought to the Locking Wizard. The Lock Wizard helps you step through the analysis of lock contention in DB2, either for one subsystem or for a data sharing group. It allows you to look at the current status or choose an earlier time interval, perhaps one that a user of your system has complained about. A history of the most important symptoms of lock problems, timeouts, and deadlocks is available, as well as information on system consideration and statistics that can point out potential causes of the problems. The view is set up by question, and by hyperlinking on them, you can get to views that help you answer those questions. I would like to take this moment to thank you for your time. As you can see, MainView for DB2 can provide a lot of information around DB2 locking and tries to present that information that you can use it to solve locking problems in your environment. If you need further information or product documentation, please refer to the BMC support website.